Just came back. Well, not just. It's been about a week. Well, no, it's Saturday. It's almost a week, 6 days since I left Atlanta, and like basically week six Beyonce. But I feel like I've been out of whack, so it's just a lot of things I have to get back into things. And while I should be also sitting my butt down, and save the money and not go out, I just feel like I'm at this pace. Like I haven't really been doing much for me. I also just been sitting in the house. That's all I've been filming. I could give you an update on my garden later. It's not doing so well. Coming back from Atlanta, I had to get rid of a few. They were dying. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I'm gonna go to the farmer's market this week, and today's Saturday, by the way. Possibly look at some thrift stores, and go to a movie tomorrow by myself in the morning, because I wanted to do 9 a.m. but I was like, I decided to do 11. So yeah, I might do a few in between things. But for now, let's start with matcha. Also, I finally got on the cowboy carter. I haven't worn it at all since I got it. Gave it a good iron. I was like, let me find a cute fit. This is a medium. I'm pretty glad I got a medium instead of the small. I just do a cute little tuck, not too baggy, not too tight. I'm just so nervous. Didn't mean to bounce the microphone. The one thing I am nervous about is it's white. I don't really wear whites a lot, so that's what I'm just more nervous about. So, and the thing about me when I'm eating out, drinking out, is I make messes. So it's the start of the day and I'm already nervous about making a matcha in a white shirt. I get crazy whisking. Yes, I store my matcha in the refrigerator. I just thought that was a thing. So if it can help preserve freshness, so be it. Also, I just really started doing the mesh strainer just the last few months. And I actually, because at first I thought it was gonna be some expensive thing you have to buy. And I'm like, oh, this is something I can just buy easily anywhere. Like I got this at Home Goods and it was like a pack for like $5. And to be honest, I have noticed a significant difference. It's not as much matcha scent at the bottom of my drink. I don't know if I'm at that level yet to get a scale just for matcha. Maybe when I get into my gym thing, just to measure my food intake, possibly. But other than that, no. I think that's enough. My whisker. Where's my whisker? Oh, okay. I think that's enough. Do. I get crazy good like with the whisking, so let me just keep a distance. So I should post that. I will post it because I made it for my TikTok, but I'll post these syrups. Transcendence Coffee. I use their coffee syrups for my matcha, and in the top two slots, basically there's tying is the cinnamon one and the Algerian baklava. Basically flavored honey, but it's not like an overpowering honey, but it's like you don't even need a lot of syrup compared to the other syrups to really get a flavor. I just go, sometimes I put the milk first, sometimes I put the matcha first. I decided to do this. This is my Nespresso cup that I spent a little too much money on, but is it too much money if you're getting the you're getting the use out of it like all the time? Like I use this not even when I'm traveling anymore. And the bad thing about drinking matcha with a straw is that you drink it quicker. I've noticed that. I literally slurp it the heck up compared to when I'm like sipping on it. I don't know why. So yeah, I use this at home. It's like this, so there's no risk of spilling. I do wish it was a grip thing at the bottom as well. That's my only gripe. But yeah, oh, ice. I don't have cute ice, just regular ice from the fridge. So yeah, I really like this. Saves money, usually on weekends, especially when I'm leaving, because I don't have a good travel mug. I used to, for my matcha, is that I would just go to a coffee shop, support the local coffee shop and get theirs because they just have a to-go cup. See, no spillage. I made the mistake of when I went to Atlanta that I didn't realize because I was just packing up. And I was like, yo, where's my drink? And I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm going to stop because it was at the back seat. This was not on. So half of my matcha spilled in the freaking rental car. Luckily, it was dark. Luckily I had coverage because usually they were like, your insurance should cover it, but it's like fine line print with that. But also they had dark seats. But I hurry up just in case for smell because it was still milk. I mean, it wasn't dairy milk, but it was still milk and sweets. We opened up a pad, and yeah, it just patted down just to soak it because we had no towel and napkins can only do so much. All right, 9:33. Sunscreen on. We put shoes on. The garden's watered. I guess I can show you what the garden looks like now before I leave. I can show you what it looked like the trip when I came back from Atlanta, and I'll show you what I did afterwards because I made a mistake and I think one of them broke. So, and this is year 2. It gets very frustrating when you spend almost $1,000 on a garden. Yes, I said that. This is the delicata. Maybe I made the mistake of putting them next to each other because they said like 3 amount and you could thin it to 2. So I thought 2 should be fine, and as long as I maybe like get on the heavy feeding, it should be fine, right? Right? Like, it should be fine. And if you're seeing like white stuff on it, it's that, okay, my pronunciation is over the place. Callan spray. It's been raining a lot and then new leaves been coming up, so I have to just keep up with it, but I'm gonna spray more probably today or tomorrow because it looks like it's gonna rain again. The only thing I might have to grow successfully so far for summer when it comes to summer plants is eggplants. I grew eggplants pretty well last year, the long ones. I forgot, to be honest, which ones these are. I need to write down which ones I'm growing. So, like, this one's doing pretty well. Wait. I'm trying to move my camera. Can my camera fall in line? Yes. This one's doing pretty well. This is my first one. And here's another one. I'm getting a lot of flowers, to be honest, but I think that's not a good thing per se. I've been like pinching them off because something about energy wise, so I'm like, I want all the energy for these bottom ones, so whatever's growing on the same stem, I'm just like pruning them off. I'm like, at this point I don't want these to be stunted. And yes, I'm reusing. I have the watering stakes. I'm reusing my bottles because I don't drink wine, so I'm like, how would I get empty wine bottles? I'm reusing my syrup bottles. And yes, they're smaller, but I think it's helping with the watering. Sometimes I'll still top off the top just a little bit. And then yes, so I think well, no, it was on my TikTok. I talked about my Oyas. I bought Oyas from this guy on Facebook Marketplace because I never got on. That was my first purchase on Marketplace. I have never done a purchase. I got wood from them as well because people are trying to get rid of wood. And yes, I feel like my Oyas are really, really helping. I know I'm supposed to bury it even more, but just at this point, I just can't afford more soil. I can't just keep putting it with soil. And I feel like that's really helping the growth for these babies right here. Because all I told my mom, I was like, yeah, I definitely have to get Oyas for her because I feel like she ain't going to water it correctly, but it's not like I know how to water correctly either. I said, you know what, just fill up the Oyas. That's all you need to do is fill up the Oyas every other day. I got a big one for this, but it really was going through. It was a really hot week last week. It was like in the 90s. So she's like, it was kept getting empty or at the bottom. This one, the large one's good to 4 feet, and the other one down there is medium. It's good for 3 feet. And I had winter squash over there. I think I did take a video beforehand, so I will link that with this possibly if I remember. If.
Somehow we gotta find a way. No matter how many miles it takes. I don't feel so good right now, but it all come falling down. When the night be the light, turn the day. Can't stop, nigga won't stop. I know just how that feel. When you're on top, till the ball drop. Never seen it be so real. Feel so good right now, but it all come falling down. When the night be the light, turn the day. Yeah, feel it a little, feel it a lot. I'm swimming a bit, but deeper in thought. Keeping my head on top of my shoulders. Into some shit, I'm out of the box. This the level I'm on. Need it all right now and forever it's gone.
So I didn't buy as much as I planned. Well, maybe it was planned. Because these type of stores is like, they're not Goodwill, you know, Planet Exchange, like secondhand type of store, those type, the cheap ones, even though they're not being cheap anymore, those other ones. It's more like, because they're like from the 90s and beforehand, so they're gonna be like minimum $25 and then like maximum who knows. So I bought like 2 things. So I bought this silver ring. I'm usually not a silver girly, but I'm usually a gold one. I don't know really what the undertones or not, but at this point I'm just trying to build my accessories. And usually I'm not a ring person. I hate rings, actually. I hate this usually on my hands, but I say, you know, I really want to be an accessorizing. And then I bought a cute scarf because not only did I find out, I'm like, oh yeah, I should start accessorizing my purse. I really want to get a cute Coach purse. Like, that's something I'm building up for. But also I want scarves for my hair. And for the scarves I usually want, I have to go to thrift stores. I haven't found one who sells the scarves I want. Yeah, the prices in there, they were like a little too much out of my range. And if I was to get something that's in that range, I have to like absolutely love it. If I have doubts, then it's just like, it's not worth it for me. Maybe I should do a thing, like a video, my favorite, my pieces that I bought that I think was worth it, because most of the pieces I got actually were from online, like Etsy vintage shops, and I caught them on sale, or it's like I just had to get it. Because the downside to buying secondhand / thrift / vintage, whatever, is that there's only one of those in those stores. You will never find multiple of that in any other sizes. So if you do find your size, you really like it, you can't really say, I mean, you can, but it's just more likely just go ahead and get it. It's easier just go ahead and get it instead of like, I'm gonna wait for payday or something, because it's just like a unique find in these type of stores. And the second like con in a way about it is also that they don't have your sizes. So if you do find something, because I did find quite a few pieces, but they were like in larges. They're either they're too small or too large. And I'm trying to get out of that habit of getting things that's just the right size, because what I found out as I'm trying on things that I used to still wear since high school, in college, I'm gaining weight. So, you know, don't buy things that's just your size. So I know I said I was going to another thrift store today, but it's like 1:30 and I don't feel like it because I'm lazy. So I might just go home and go ahead and cook. Like, let me go ahead and prep and do what I need to do for today. And it can last a few days. And so when I go to the movies tomorrow, and then right after the movies, I can go to the thrift store. And then after that, I'm done. So I'm just going to get the reading and things like that. lighting really sucks, but it is currently 9:36 right now. You like my outfit? It's Sunday, by the way. I wore this. I'm an outfit repeater, by the way. I wore this when I went to Georgia, but I do need accessories. Like, I was kind of nervous. I had these pants for like almost, I think it was over a year, and I just like, why did I get these pants? There's nothing to wear with. And I bought this a few weeks ago because it was like a anniversary sale at a vintage store, so everything was 60% off. And I'm like, anyone who knows me, I told my sister, I was like, tell me what you think I got. And she said, button down, colorful, printed shirt. It is on the big side, so people do see my bra, but if I adjust it well, you don't see much. Sorry, my voice is like so low and deep. This is the morning voice, and I don't want to be like loud for my sisters. Sound travels. So I'm currently gonna make my matcha. I was really gonna go wake up and go to a coffee shop, but since I spent a little money yesterday, I have matcha at home. I really did want to go out and get pastries, but I am about to go to the movies in an hour. Yes, I'm going to the movies this early, and the main reason why I went to this movie is because one, reclinable seats, and two, the food's, even though it's still overpriced, the food is just a little bit better. And I just have a taste for jalapeno poppers ever since I ate it for the first time there. Let's try the recipe. I have never tried this matcha before, this type of matcha recipe. So we don't even have this at my Asian store, like Asian marketplace here, and I kept putting it off to order it on Amazon. So when I went to Atlanta, I went to H Mart, and they had like soybean powder, soybean flour. I didn't know if they're the same thing. I looked it up, and they basically are. And I told the woman, just put one up, but I didn't realize she still rung up both. So I'm gonna just go ahead and try the roasted soybean flour. By the way, this is called Kanako. I knew it started a K. So let's see. 4th cup of this. I guess I should have you look at the drink I'm making. Walk them the right way, that's my policy. Shun the ball alongside Beyoncé. Now hear the man Beyoncé, sing it now, yeah. Baby boy, stay on. This don't look like a lot of foam. The foam is like so thick. This is so thick. I made this way thick. I'm gonna drink it now. It's not bad. It's like a nutty taste. Like, I don't really, because I think the Kanako is the same powder. I haven't had it in about a year. It's like a type of mochi rice cake, and this look like a nuggets, and it has that same color powdered, and you put it on like a sandwich. You make a honey sandwich. I show you how I make those. I haven't had it in a year because I just don't, it's like I only eat it by myself, and it's like a lot in a packet. I'm glad I tried it. Next time I might, I don't know if I need to put more heavy cream this time or less whipping it. Come on, girl, tell me how you feel. I think about you all the time. 2 tablespoons. Okay. So I'm currently in the parking lot to go see Superman. This basically only gonna be out to 2.5 hours with previews. I'm excited. I usually not into DC films, but the last DC film I watched that I can remember, well, Wonder Woman. I forgot I watched Wonder Woman. Let me take this off, it's not windy. The last DC film I watched was Wonder Woman. At first I thought it was that Batman versus Superman, which I actually did not like. I'm like, what's with the slow motion zoom ins and all that? I just feel like the plot was crazy. But Wonder Woman, it's funny because I haven't watched Wonder Woman 1. I watched the second one. It was like during the COVID times, like peak COVID lockdown, and it being okay. Like, I really was there for Pedro and Chris Pine. Like, that's literally what I was there for. So I'm kind of having high hopes because people have really been putting this up like on pedestal, this Superman. Oh yeah, I have watched Superman. I forgot the one with Henry Cavill, the first one. I remember I have watched that one. So I don't remember much about it, but I remember I watched it. And it's one of those things I'll talk about it after the movie because there's like a whole little thing I was about to get into. It's 10:40 something, and the movie starts at 11. So 2.5 hours later, 5 stars. I have literally no complaints over this film. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was just a phenomenal. I didn't know this guy name because like this was a fun watch. I watched the first, like not the first Superman, but you know, Henry Cavill, and I just felt like he was so stoic. Like, yo, Henry was so handsome in that movie, and he fit like his whole look. But like, I didn't watch a lot of like Superman cartoons coming up with the few I did. It's just like he's just so stoic when he was acting in the movie. This one, he was like a perfect blend of goof here and there. Like he's a young guy. Like he shouldn't be like low-key Batman. Like he was almost like Batman in the first Superman. Like that's what I remembered. I mean, it's been like, how old am I now? It's been like 8 to 10 years, but that's what I remember from that film. Go in, I love how it started. Nicholas Hoult, been a fan of him since Warm Bodies. He's phenomenal. And I loved his version of Lex Luthor because I don't know what that was with Jesse Eisenberg, but I loved his version of his portrayal of it. I love that we didn't have to, it was like an origin story, and I love that Lois. So, oh crap! Let me say spoiler alert. I might say some spoilers. I'm not going to talk about that much about the film. Let me see, how long have I talked about it? Okay, I will try to keep it less than 5 minutes. He was awesome. The actor who plays Superman / Clark Kent, and I saw so many reviews. That's what made me want to watch it because it was like getting bashed a lot because it was political, and I don't know why I put quotations because it was political, and I have nothing wrong with my media being political because at this point, it's kind of like sometimes you need to see your, some people digest things easier when it's fiction. It's like they digest sometimes because some people, it go over their head and they miss the entire point. But sometimes it's like, that's why I love the film Sinners. It's like you put a little bit of real life into a fictional world, and some people can get it and some people still don't want to get it. Or they'll get it and they don't like it. So I enjoyed it. The dog, cute little tidbit, how they kind of foreshadowed how he could possibly be helpful, because you see that he's one of those rowdy dogs, behavior issues. He's just ready to scrap into anything, and you see how he utilized that to help with the fight. Oh my gosh, let me think of other things.
Like I just really can't wrap around like how much I enjoyed the film. Like I felt myself like chuckling, I laughed out loud, mouth dropping. I was hoping that, like, people who know, if you know, you know, I was hoping that film of the recording was doctored, but apparently it wasn't, because I was waiting to the very end, like, what this was just a mistranslation, like, they took it too literal. Okay, I guess it was. I guess his parents did basically tell him to take over the world or something. But I just love how the ending was just, like, at the end of the day, because I was kind of thinking that through the film a little bit, because like, yeah, they were your real biological parents, but like, who's the ones that raised you? And I just love that, you know, he won't hit the recording of your parents, and I was like, again, like I thought, and then they showed the ones who adopted him, mom and pa. And I got teary-eyed with I don't know, I forgot the names, but you know, the one that started with J, because it's just real life things. And that interview, they said it was like 10 or 12 minutes. It did not feel like 10 or 12 minutes. That's how great the script was and the dialogue, because I wasn't like, oh my gosh, how long are we in this scene, like in this apartment? It was in the beginning when Lois was, I'm kind of going all over the place. Like, I'm like Charlie off of Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, I'm kind of all over the place connecting lines and stuff. I can't wait to listen to podcasts now to talk about this film. It was just like how Lois, because she was in that apartment for like 10, 12 minutes, they're talking that interview, and it's like, she's a great like the questions, like I graduated with journalism and a journalism degree, and it's just like the hard-hitting questions, like, I don't care if we're boyfriend girl, like we're dating, I'm hitting you the questions. And you know, he was like, I'm media trained, and it's like, yeah, these follow-up questions. She's like, just because we have a relationship, I have to ask these questions. And I totally understand what Superman was going with, was just like, I wasn't doing it as a representative of America. I was doing it as like, it's just the right thing. But then like Lois is just like, yeah, but did you talk to anybody? You just it made me think of Avengers, like not like the Marvel universe, when it came to Captain America, which one? Civil War. And it's like each side had a point. It was just like, even though I was just Iron Man's side at the end of the day to an extent, but it was just like each side had a point. Like, yeah, you can't just go to different countries, especially when you don't even speak to them for permission. You just go in there out of your jurisdiction and just go for it. You just shouldn't have that much free will, especially when you're a dangerous entity with powers and resources, especially when like majority of you have aliens, but half of y'all are Americans, and y'all like to stick your foot in things, Avengers. And then the other side is like, yeah, but Captain America knows, especially with Hydra. It's just like, yeah, but America doesn't have good intentions in heart. I don't want them to use us for, just war in general when they want to, when things are. So yeah, we're not here to talk about Marvel. We're here to talk about the DC film.
So did I talk too long? Okay, yeah. So I want to go to McKay's, see what they got. I'm gonna try to at least get maximum 3 books. And then I did say I was gonna go to a thrift store. I know I did say I was going to another thrift store, but I might not. We'll see. Oh, that film, it's just something about, especially action, but just in general, like 2 hours always get me nervous. It's just something like 2 hours at home watching a film versus 2 hours at the movie are completely different. You just off your phone finally, enjoying the film, relaxing, and it was just great. Like, it wasn't a time like, oh my gosh, this is dragging, this is a filler, because trust me, I have watched some action films that was so many fillers. Like, I feel like they could have took it down to 10 minutes here, take that 10 minutes there. Like, so this film, like, I would love to see this Superman interact with Robert Pattinson's Batman, just that interaction. I just been seeing stuff on Twitter, like little fandom shippings, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, just to see them act together, oh my gosh, he was great. I don't recognize this guy at all. Like, the only person I recognized was possibly 3 people, like Nicholas Hoult, the editor-in-chief. I feel like I've seen Lois Lane somewhere, but I'm like, I don't know where. That's really it. I mean, the black guy, the smart Mr. Terrific, like, he's an X-Man. But yeah, let's go to McKay's now. I got 4 books from McKay's. I decided to get 3, just start back my library, and I'm a young adult fiction girly, and I'm just like, let me buy these books I used to own, because like I got rid of them, because like when I was in college or around high school age, I was just like, that's when I first found out of McKay's, and I was like down bad for money, so I was like, I sold my books. So I was like, let me rebuild the books I liked when I was a teenager. I'm a Sarah Dessen fan, and I remember that was all I was reading in middle to high school. Actually, fun fact, my first book that I bought with my own money was Just Listen and Along for the Ride. I got those both. I got the hardback Along for the Ride and Just Listen. I got them both from Borders, and back when Borders was around. So yes, I bought Along for the Ride. They had a hardback, but I decided, because I'm a paperback girly, at the time there was only a hardback for this book. I remember I enjoyed it. I don't remember much about it. I'll remember her parents were divorced, and I think she went to visit her dad, and she met a dude, and a lot of people ride bikes. I always assume bikes are important to this factor because of the book and Along for the Ride. And I think she doesn't know how to ride a bike, and he teaches her. Like, he runs a bike shop. I think I'm going off the top of the dome. For all I know, I'm making up a story in my head. I have not read this book in like maybe 10 to 12 years. I have never read this book. So I was like, you know what? Let me get a brand new Sarah Dessen book. And it was $10.50 for a used book, but I got it. Basically about a young girl who was a shadow of her brother, who was like amazing and awesome, but then he got into some trouble, and now she's just thinking of what's going to happen to her and her place in the family. And then she meets a cool family, and of course she's like, yo, the older brother is so cool, because at the end of the day, most of her books are romance. The only book that was like not a good romance book, like it wasn't romance, like in the sense of things that we would like, I think it was called Dreamland, about domestic abuse and relationship. So I remember that one. I was like, oh, all right. So I feel like that was her only book I've read that wasn't romantic. And Eleanor in Park by Robin Rowell. I remember I absolutely loved this book. I owned this book. I had a hardback copy. And it had hardback in there as well. But as I said again, I'm a paperback girly, and I actually like this. I like the colored pages. And $7, I'm decided to keep this. When you look back at like all the young adult fiction that's becoming movies, like All the Bright Places, I think I still kept that book. I remember that book made me cry. I don't know why I kept that book then. So I'm like surprised this haven't been touched on before. Like, this could have been a cute Netflix, something, a streamer, not straight to TV, but like a streaming movie. Like, I just remember it was a really great book. Outcasts meeting each other. And it was in the 80s. I forgot it was in the 80s. And they had like, I remember they had like Love of Music, and they was on the bus together. The guy, I forgot of what descent or like what country of ethnicity, but I do remember he was like Asian or Asian American, and that was something that was making him an outcast in the 80s. And then the girl they already looked down at her because of her weight, but then she was poor as well, and they met in the middle with that. I remember I like that book. And last but not least, because I think I mentioned, I mentioned I'm into my garden era, year 2, not going that well, but so I feel like I can't just depend on TikTok and YouTube. I mean, we just can't depend on all things to be like internet. We need to start having physical copies. So I remember I used to get this last year a lot when I first gardened, before like I just did my research. I got this at the library, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get my own book. $8 to $9, good price. It's time to start owning books, especially like books that we're learning skills off of. So yes, what time is it? 2:40. Do I want? Well, I used bookstore. I was gonna say let me go to another thrift shop, but I spent $30 today, and I went to the movies, and I bought food, so that was like $50 today. So we're gonna count that a day, and I might go home and like meal prep for my mom, because she had leftovers, so I don't know if I want to cook for her yet.